Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me on this Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. This is some information pertaining to the R. Kelly saga, and it is pertaining to Miss Azriel Clary. I will be bringing you three different sources for this said information, so if you need verification, please log on to those sites. The first information will be brought to you by The Blast. R. Kelly's ex-girlfriend Azriel Clary, working with federal agents, receiving death threats from singer's fans. R. Kelly's ex-girlfriend, Azriel Clary, has turned on the alleged child sex predator and is working with the feds. According to reports, Azriel is currently cooperating with investigators in Kelly's New York criminal case. Kelly's ex has been getting details about her time with the disgraced singer. The information she provided is reportedly could help prosecutors build their case against Kelly prior to trial. The report states Azriel previously talked to federal investigators while still with Kelly. She allegedly lied to the agents several times in an attempt to cover for Kelly. Azriel has reportedly been receiving death threats from Kelly's fans, which feds are monitoring to keep her safe. 23-year-old Azriel decided to end her relationship with Kelly in December. She moved out of his Trump Tower condo in Chicago and reunited with her family. Kelly's ex-girlfriend sat down with The Sun for her first interview after leaving him. She accused him of years of abuse and claimed he had hundreds of victims across the country. Azriel recalled an alleged beating where the singer repeatedly hit her with a size 12 Nike Air Force One. She said Kelly beat her with the shoe while she was naked. She says he had another female bathe her while he watched following the incident. Kelly's lawyer denied all allegations. Azriel believes Kelly's alleged victims don't come forward because he threatens them with blackmail. She accuses Kelly of forcing alleged victims to write letters saying they've been molested by their family members. She said he even has people on film, molesting their younger nieces or younger brothers. Oh, mercy. Kelly is stuck behind bars awaiting trial in his two federal criminal cases. He suffered a huge setback in court this month. Azriel recently trolled Kelly with a video of her dancing to Jay-Z's song, Big Pimpin'. And that is the latest update on that from The Blast, if you need verification on that said story. So now we get new information that he showed them porn of, this is crazy. Showed them porn of people on film molesting their younger nieces or younger brothers. That's a charge right there in itself. If they ever get a hold of that said information. Mercy. The next is brought to you by Showbiz Cheat Sheet. Okay, this was dated February 3rd. Okay. As you know, she has left, Miss Azriel Clary, and in this information from the Showbiz Cheat Sheet, she's basically giving information about, why she left, and they're stating also that the family had text messages to verify that she had an intimate relationship with Mr. Kelly, and that this transpired after initially meeting him, and that she was underage at the time that she had the relations with him. They shared this information to the Florida police, but didn't get much help. Miss Clary states that she was, the family, the Clary stated that she was controlled and brainwashed by Mr. Kelly, and this is why she distanced herself from the family and cut off all contact. It's also stated that former living girlfriends contacted the Clarys, and when they went to try to contact the young lady, this is when I guess they somehow could not reach her, and it was stated that Kelly was running an abusive sex cult, and Miss Clary allegedly tried to escape but was unsuccessful. Now, as you all know, she has been reunited with her family. This is what has been reported, that she is back with her family. And she is also working with the feds, as I told you in this previous article, on the New York case. And TMZ met up with Miss Gayle King. Looked like she was maybe in Florida somewhere. Saw palm trees in the background, so I'm not for sure what city this was in. But they were asking her about Miss Clary, and she was basically saying that she just wishes nothing but the best for her. We wish nothing but the best for her. And then he asked her before she got it, while she's getting in the car, well, what do you think she needs to do? And she told him, well, you know what she needs to do. I don't need to tell you that. You already know the answer to that question. And also in this showbiz cheat sheet, it was mentioned that, of course, she lied during the Gayle King interview, which I brought you information about that the other day, and that she and Miss Joy had not watched the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, the original documentary, and that they didn't watch it until afterwards. And this is what sparked, while he was in jail, this is what sparked her, Miss Clary, to leave him, is watching the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. As you all know, that she did an interview with The Sun magazine, and she alleges of her abuse during this interview with The Sun, and it was physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. And for the first few months after he was jailed, she was maintained under control and stuck to a strict schedule outlined by Kelly. She doesn't specify who ate it, but she just said it's a strict schedule, and that strict schedule consisted of her going to see him daily, and eventually, while of course him being incarcerated, she began to break free from him, and that she attributes her relationship basically to Mr. Kelly as being brainwashed by Mr. Kelly. The blast also states that, as I said to you all, she has talked to the feds, and she lied to them initially when speaking to the federal agents. She lied to them on multiple occasions, and she lied to cover for Mr. Kelly. Since coming out now and speaking of her truth of what allegedly happened with her living with Mr. Kelly, she has now been receiving death threats from his fans and supporters, and the feds have mentioned that they will be trying to keep her safe. The trial for Mr. R. Kelly in the state of Illinois will start in April, and the New York trial will start in May. I have a few questions from this said commentary. As I stated, if you need verification for the said information, you can tune into TMZ for the Gayle King live interview where they approached her out on an outing one night, I guess after dinner or festivities, and then the other was the blast and the showbiz cheat sheet. The questions I have right now was, who was keeping her with this strict guideline? Who are the helpers? And where are they now? And will they be also tried as accessories to aiding him in keeping these women hostage and physical and emotional abuse? Where is this home that Miss Clary stated that she bought? Because now reports are stating that she is back with her family and staying with her family. So now I'm wondering about the Instagram post that she posted that she has a new home. And then now she's getting threats from fans and supporters. So does the house exist, or will she be staying with her family, or will she be in an undisclosed location? Because now I'm sure people know where her family lives. People, neighbors, community, people that live wherever they live. And naturally, if she's getting threats, it wouldn't be safe for her to stay with her family. But the reports are that she's back with them. So I was just curious to if she's actually going to be staying with them, or is she actually in this home that she had mentioned was an undisclosed place. And due to the threats, how would all that work out? Okay. In this information that I brought to you, there was something mentioned about the family, the Clarys not getting, that they mentioned in a Surviving R. Kelly documentary, the original one, about the relationship between Miss Clary and Mr. Kelly initially when they first met, that they had relations, sexual relations. But what I want to know is when he states that he went to Florida law enforcement for help, he had text messages. I'm assuming he would have taken those, Mr. Clary. Why did they not help? Because she was a minor at the time of meeting Mr. Kelly, having sexual relations with him, and then not being in the state of Florida with her family. So it seems to me they could show proof that, hey, we've been trying to reach her, we can't contact her. She last was known talking to this man who is famous and older. She's a minor. We need your help in locating our child. We need her back. So it seems to me if you had done a vocal plea to the public, the news outlets, that word wouldn't have gotten out, wouldn't it have? And these people would have said, okay, this man says this man and his wife, their child is with this grown-up. They haven't seen her, haven't heard from her. All contact has been disbanded. That's what I've always questioned, was the issue with the parent. And rumors that they willingly let her go with an adult to be supervised, which, like I said, I don't have any verification or any of that. But in this article, it did state that he had verification that she messed around with him. So this is where I have a problem is, okay, if you went to the authorities, why didn't they help? Why didn't the Florida, the city where you all live, why didn't they aid you in getting your child back? Why didn't somebody try to find Mr. Kelly's location, which it can't be hard, and seek him out and find your child there? Because that would have been proof right there that you took a child from state to state for sexual gratification, and that's a crime in itself. And once again, this is baffling to me because I don't understand the hoopla of everything. And I've also stated I never believed that the parents asked for money or received gifts or monies from Mr. Kelly. I wasn't there. I don't know. I never, jump into all that rhetoric. But one thing I will say is now it's been reported in this article that he did go to authorities and he said they didn't give much help. I find it baffling. No one would help get a minor back home to their parents if they can locate and have verification that she was corresponding with a grown man, famous or not. And I think something needs to be done about those people who've aided him in these past several years. Whoever was up there aiding them when these last two ladies were there living, when he got arrested, they need to be brought to justice. And that's just about the gist of it. A sad saga it is, but we will see the update, how everything pans out for this young lady being on her own or living with her family, and hopefully no one will bother or harm her because that's a waste of time. It's not you all's fight to be out there rallying because you're like a famous person or whomever. That was their personal business, and trying to harm someone is a waste of time and it's wrong. As far as Miss Joy, I haven't heard any more updates since their altercation and her going to court, for the said charge of fighting with Miss Azriel Clary. Hopefully she and Miss Clary will both get some type of mental help because I think they both need counseling. And I don't know where Joy is, if she's living in the Chicago area or if she's back home with her family. I think that would be the best thing for her, considering they're the ones who came to her aid when she caught this recent charge with the altercation with Miss Clary, which I thought was really sad and pathetic, but it did happen. But that's my latest update from TMZ, The Blast, and Showbiz Cheat Sheet. Like and share, drop your comments below, and I will bring you a further update on anything pertaining to Mr. Kelly. And I just think this is a sad saga of a talent wasted and gone down the drain just for the sick fantasy life of wanting to be with children. And let me say this before I check out of here. For those of you who have been aiding and rallying behind Mr. Kelly, the thing I think is sad for most of you who don't think he's exacted any of these physical abuse crimes against children and women is that you think that the exchange of these women living with him is that they got this great lifestyle. Well, as you see in this report, she outlines a strict regime living with him. And after he went to jail. So that means someone aided to keep that strict regime, unless she was just, as she stated, just brainwashed and did whatever she wanted. If nobody was there to help them, keep a watchful eye of the two young ladies while he was incarcerated. But the point is, I don't understand why you all think that these ladies had such a great life, because the Calhoun lady had already stated that was her reason for leaving him. It's because there were too many other women living in the house. So how do you all think that was a great lifestyle? You think because somebody got their boobs done and hair extensions, some clothes to wear, that's nothing. Because we've seen with many cases of abuse with relationships, children, with their parents, just because somebody dressed you up in nice clothes, take you to the mall, take you to Macy's or Bloomingdale's, doesn't mean anything. Because behind closed doors, maybe you're called all kind of filthy names, beat up, hit, abused sexually, physically. Nice clothes and shoes and hair bows, I think we all know they don't mean anything. That's just a facade, that's for show. It's what goes on behind closed doors. It's the truth and the spoken word. I don't see that they had a great life with him. I don't see that it was all that grand. Because in the end, for those of you who think their life was so great living with Mr. R. Kelly, what do they have now? What do they have to show from living with Mr. R. Kelly now? They didn't get anything grand while they were with him, and they don't have anything grand to show today for being with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Like and share, drop your comments below, and thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.